Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section and social media account. Please also like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Well, we're going to have a short week this week because we get the 4th on Thursday and Wednesday, not Friday, Wednesday will be closed at 1 o'clock. So half a day on Wednesday. Thursday, market's fully closed for the day for Independence Day, obviously, and Friday is a full day. For some reason, I thought Friday was going to be a half a day, but no, Wednesday is the half a day, so that's going to be tough to remember. But a lot of the big shots are probably going to be gone for the entire week, and if they're not, they're probably going to leave Wednesday, and they will not be coming back Friday for that one day. So the big shots will not be in on Friday. In fact, we may not see much volume. Friday might even be a day you just might just say screw it and just take it off. So I might do the same thing. I don't know. We'll see. But the market's been kind of crappy lately. Hopefully this week is a lot better than last week. If you watch the recap, you know what I mean. Now looking at the put to call ratio, I've already taken a quick peek at it and there was nothing that stood out. I mean, it's at 0.64. It's right in the middle, not too high, not too low. As far as the economic calendar, I can't imagine too much is going to be happening this week, but we'll look at it anyways. Monday, July 1st, manufacturing PMI prices at 10 a.m. Let's see. Powell is speaking Tuesday at 9:30. Jolts openings. Maybe say that again. Jolts job openings at 10 a.m. So Tuesday at open is going to be something to watch. Now, why are we seeing Powell participate in a panel discussion titled Policy Panel at the ECB Forum on Central Banking? Okay, so that might be something that could generate some volatility on Tuesday. Now, Wednesday, remember, it's half a day. We have unemployment claims at 8:30, and we have final PMI services at 9:45 and 10 o'clock. And, what? We have FOMC at 2 o'clock, and the market closes at 1. That's bizarre. So FOMC, we're going to have FOMC when the market's closed. Oh, God, that's funny. Well, it is what it is, apparently. So Thursday, obviously, is Independence Day. And Friday, non-farm employment change, unemployment rate. Not really much going on Friday, so wow, that just blows my mind that we have FOMC at 2 o'clock on Wednesday when the market's closed. That's very, very bizarre. I know it's not the big FOMC days where you have Powell and projections and stuff like that, but still, the non-Powell FOMC days, in my opinion, are the best because SPX is cheap at the money, and you get a good move, $1 or $2 move on that is like substantial when you're at the money. So yeah. Very, very bizarre week. Get a couple of things to watch out for. Tuesday and Wednesday are going to be the two bigger days as far as news and things going on. And I mean, like I said, Friday, just take Friday off. I mean, it's not worth coming back for that one day. I may not myself. I don't know. We'll see. SPY. I got SPY up right now. Obviously, 550. Double topped at 550 with a big red candle on Friday. We'll have to see what opens up. We got two inverted hammers on the weekly. Not usually a good sign, but 4th of July week is usually bullish. I mean, how un-American, I shouldn't say anti, how un-American would it be for the SPY to be red or have a red week? I mean, it's just very un-American. So usually we have a slow grind up on 4th of July weekend. So with that said, I'd watch it underneath 542 for a push to fill that gap at 535-ish or 537, 535. And if we do pull back and fill the gap, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if we end up at 550 again. If we break 550 this week, I think that we're going to see 555, even possibly 560. Like I said, usually 4th of July weekends, 4th of July week, going into Independence Day is a strong green week, or at least a green week. Whether or not it's strong or not, it's going to be probably a green week. So even if it pulls back, if it does pull back, we're more apt to see a stronger bounce off from the gap fill right there, if we even fill the gap. So VIX is at, not looking at too much this week. It's not really much to look at. VIX is very, very low. Getting back to what I said the last watch list, that watching VIX, if the VIX gaps up in the morning and SPY gaps up, or SPY, well, it doesn't really matter what SPY does, but if VIX gaps up, watch for a SPY to pop and VIX fade. If VIX opens flat or gaps down, then look for SPY to pull back, or at least chop. Because SPY can chop and VIX can bleed when SPY goes sideways in a range, so a tight range. So I've seen it plenty of times in the past. So VIX does not like staying under 12. It went under 12 when it bounced. I mean, we could bounce up to 13, 14 and fill that gap at the 537 area, which would bring it probably to 13 or 14, then fade the rest of the week. I mean, we could definitely see that. But I don't think we're going to hover at 12 all week long. I think we're going to get probably a small pullback to get VIX up a little bit. Then we're just going to bleed VIX up the rest of the week, what little of the week we have. So I can't imagine that we're going to get under 12. There's too much going on. And if it does, it's not going to stay long. I mean, day, two. So VIX is going to be a huge pivotal role this week. Keep an eye on that. Try not to go too crazy and think just because it's Independence Day week that we have to have a green week. We don't have to do anything. The market can do whatever it wants. And there's so much going on in the world. We are one headline away from something very catastrophic from happening. So just don't be have your head in the dirt and thinking that everything's all sunshine and rainbows, because it's not. So Apple, I mean, it's not looking good for Apple. I'd watch Apple underneath 208, push to 205 and 200, or even 195. 200 is going to be a big level. 200, yeah, will be a very big level for Apple. So keep an eye on that for a pullback on Apple. And Tesla did have a pretty good push. It kind of rejected the 200. Well, yeah, it rejected the 200. It's got a lot of resistance right here at the 203 area. So if we actually have a strong day and gets back over 200 again, we could see it push to 210 on Tesla. So keep an eye on Tesla making a run to 210, maybe even 220. You still get a big inverted head and shoulders. You get the left, the head, and the right, depending on how you draw it. This could be a massive right shoulder, massive left shoulder. I mean, so that neckline could be right around the 200 to 203 area, depending on where you want to draw it. So anywhere between 200 and 203, the neckline is going to be we should say the range, and then it could get some. It could have a nice big move on that. So Microsoft, another one worth watching. Let's see, it rejected the 450. Well, actually 450 is right here, but I mean, it got to the 455, rejected off that. Tried to break out here. It couldn't pull back. And you get that, 445 area. It's being support right here. Well, 446, 445. We'll just round down the nearest number. If it does break 445, we could end up coming back down to the 430 area, which is a pretty big area for Microsoft. 430, 425, 420. We got bearish divergence going on right on the histogram, on the weekly, and the daily. So definitely keep an eye on that. But I mean, just because you see a bearish divergence doesn't mean it's going to happen this week. It could take a while. So it could take weeks, months, just like we've seen with Baidu and Roku. Meta double top right up here into the 530 area. Oh, did it go to 530? No. 525, 522, but it was 530 up there. But this 520 area, it gets slapped right here. Got slapped here, got slapped down, and right here it's a triple top. Head and shoulders, you get the left, the head, and the right shoulder. So I would say that neckline is probably right around the, it depends on where you draw it. You can see the neckline is right here, right around the 460-ish area. And you get a gap to fill down here. I didn't quite fill the gap right here. Got some room down to 400. It's a $100 drop. Can't imagine we're going to fill the gap on that in one go, but you never know. I mean, something could come out and make Meta just dump. Zuckerberg could do something stupid. Netflix, I can't believe Netflix is still up at the right around high 600s. I just can't believe it. It's kind of crazy if you ask me. But the 690 area rejected two times, so it's staying above the RCT trend line on the daily, but it's so far away from the one on the weekly. So I would be looking for underneath what 670. Get below 670, get 660, 650, 640, 630. 630 be a pretty big area right here. So be a big pivot for Netflix. So, but yeah, that's all I'm watching. I'm not going to pay much attention to too much this week. I don't think much is going to happen. But then again, something crazy could happen this week that we least expect. Maybe China decides to invade Taiwan. Or something crazy, or Russia does something crazy, or Zelensky does something crazy, or something else happens that we couldn't see. Iran does something, or North Korea. I don't know. I know it's just all speculation, but everyone's going to be, the entire U.S. is going to be paying attention to Independence Day and setting up for the holiday and getting ready for the holiday, and that's probably that's an opportunity for someone to catch us with your pants down, basically. So. With that said, that's going to do it for the watch list, and it should be an interesting week. Hope to see you in the room.